Suzanne Levine, the Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, who joins us here at 89.3 WBLD, the all-new Lakes FM. Good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning, and thank you so much for showing up regardless. You're sort of like the mail people. You got wind, no rain.
Snow, blizzard, a foot of, well, it wasn't a foot. We got 9 inches of snow last night.
Right.
Yeah, well, thank you for making it. Did you have trouble getting out today?
Well, my, Alaskan Huskies sort of got me here. And
well, thank you for making it. How were the roads? Okay?
The roads are fine.
Okay, good.
We're Michiganders, we're hardy. We're used to this.
I love this. I lived in Charlevoix for 15 years, and Petoskey as well, and so I'm used to a little bit of snow on the ground. No problem. Good to be with you. Big day. Huh? This is a big day today with the road improvements and big impact on West Bloomfield businesses. Tell us your thoughts.
This is really a great day for the West Bloomfield business community because I know that they were impacted by a lot of the construction and were very concerned. And so this is going to really open up all of their businesses, and I want to make sure that everyone knows that they've been open, but please, we need to support them, especially during the holidays. So hopefully, they'll see a great resurgence of people coming back.
Well, it's going to get a lot easier, and I know that I've been going out of my way, and I encourage everybody to do the same thing. Been going out of my way to shop and visit and participate with the businesses along here. It's been difficult to get in and out, and I'll confess I maybe didn't make the stops I normally would make with trying to get around all that construction, but it's all out of the way. The construction is done. We've got some cleanup work left to do, but you can get to every business here on Orchard Lake Road easy now. In fact, not only easy, easier than ever before. So why not get out and support them? I think I'm with you 110%.
No, and they say that, these Michigan lefts will actually reduce accidents because I know people were using kind of that easement on the boardwalk and just cutting through, and it was kind of dangerous. There were times that people obviously were texting or eating their ice cream and not paying attention.
Well, I always encourage you to really pay attention to what you're doing when you're driving. But Suzanne Levine, Executive Director of the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber, let's talk about this from a business standpoint. This section of road is really valuable real estate. Larry Brown, a couple of minutes ago, our former trustee, guy involved in part in planning this project, reminded us, as did Marshall Labadie earlier, that a lot of people drive this stretch of roadway going to a home outside of West Bloomfield. They transition through our community. They have to come through this section of roadway to get from here to there. That's a nice opportunity for a lot of businesses that are here and others that might want to come.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of unique businesses that cater to customers and give you that one-on-one experience that you will not find at a mall or some of the other communities, and it's very walkable.
Well, and I think it's going to get a lot more walkable to be able to get to these. I mean, it was a little bit of a challenge, let's be honest. It was a little bit of a challenge in the past. We had the roadways and then kind of the sub-roadways, as I guess we would call them, and then the sidewalks weren't great. And, it was a little tough. You had to get into the shopping center. Let's be honest. Right, to get around. A lot of that is a lot better now, don't you think?
I think so, and I think once the boulevard with all the greenery, it's going to be so beautiful. And I think people will be less distracted, when there's something to divide, if there's something happens on the other side of the road.
Well, listen, we could sit here and talk cherry all day, but this is an easy sell, right? I mean, let's just take a quick look up and down Orchard Lake Road and talk about the businesses that came here, built, and operated through that construction. There's a lot of new businesses along Orchard Lake Road. I see the and those that have improved.
Right.
You have Panera Bread that moved from, they could have waited a year, right? Mm-hmm. They moved from north of 15 Mile to right in the middle of this, smack in the middle of this, and a great new location for them, into a brand new development that was never there before, with a lot of other new businesses. A lot of new businesses. I was in Freshie the other day here on Orchard Lake Road. A lot of new businesses in these multi-tenant business developments. There's a lot of buzz here already, even before this project was completed.
That's true. And NeuroCore Brain Performance Center, I give them a lot of credit because they have several other locations, yet they chose here during the worst possible
Sure.
time that a business could, because it was almost impossible to get in and out of there.
I'm fired up about this. You talk to the businesses in this corridor. Are they fired up and they excited about this new improvement?
Yes, I think they are finally really excited, because all they could see was how it impacted their business during the construction.
Sure.
And now they're so excited because they see it's very easy to get in and out of these different little strip malls. So they are very excited about it.
Well, and in the strip mall here that we're in right now with Crispelli's, who I think, I don't know if they're the anchor here, but I kind of call them the anchor. They're the most visible business in this development, being so close to Orchard Lake Road and just having such good food, too. That this development really, as Larry Brown said a couple of minutes ago, is really going to benefit from the change to Powers Road. And if you're driving by here listening and you've not driven on Powers Road, that was a pain in the you know what, to try to get in and out. It had that really nasty curve, and it was very difficult to navigate the light and get onto northbound Orchard Lake Road. It was really hard to turn in, and that whole situation, I mean, if they only did that, this thing would have been good enough. It's so much better now.
Absolutely. So kudos to the people that planned this, even though it was painful. I think it was, definitely worth suffering through it.
Your office is right here. I mean, you're right around the corner, right?
Yes.
So you're right on Orchard Lake Boulevard. So, I mean, it was tough, wasn't it, getting through here the last several months?
It was very tough because we use Huntington Banks, so trying to even get there, I basically should have ridden a horse. It would have been easier.
But now, I mean, even with all the snow, and even with this not being done, and with people trying to figure out, where do I go here, do I go there, trying to learn how to navigate, because it does take a little practice and care to learn how to navigate the double left-hand turn. Have you guys tried that one yet? You got a double left-hand turn now when you're coming north on Orchard Lake Road to get onto Maple. I don't use that one too much, but I every day use a double left-hand turn on Maple coming onto Orchard Lake Road from the east coming west. And you got another car right next to you, and,
It is a little scary at
it is a
times.
little bit, but it moves traffic so
Yes.
well. It really works great.
Because when it was just one lane, it seemed like only two cars got through at the green.
Yeah, you got two cars that go through and then you wait.
Right.
And then two cars that go through and you wait. And it would really be bad. And that was on Maple getting onto Orchard Lake Road. I mean, all that traffic coming off Northwestern Highway, getting onto the new boulevard, and then much of it trying to get onto Maple 15-mile road going west. The way that light is controlled and set up, and now with that double lane, that is just a million times better.
It is, because my office is right off of Maple.
Right.
And there was a time when Maple was shut down for that construction, and there was a sign. Basically, it said I couldn't make a left or a right into my office.
Well, look, we all dealt with a really hard summer. That was a pain in the same thing to try to get through here. And then you get through Orchard Lake in this construction, and then the construction of Maple. But, I mean, that was hard. But I think why not endure all of the pain, or
At
almost
once.
all the pain, a little more to be done, but almost all the pain at one time and just get through it. Right?
No, absolutely. And I always remind people that this is nothing compared to what goes on in L.A.
That is true. What do you see for the future? Do you see? I see a space available sign. There's pretty good occupancy already along Orchard Lake Road here now, but what do you see for the future? Do you see new businesses? Do you see our occupancy improving and some new exciting opportunities and shopping opportunities along this roadway?
I really do, because I think that people realize that people in West Bloomfield want a vibrant community, and that they want to support a business community, and they don't always want to go out to a 12 Oaks Mall or a Somerset, that they want to, for example, Sundance Shoes has been here for a long time,
Sure.
and a lot of women shop there, or Closet Envy, or some of the other shops that are very unique and specific to our community. So I think that our community is going to remain vibrant, because the people in this community will support really great businesses.
Well, and I bet there'll be, I mean, this is a very high volume. Hello, people are beeping as they're going by. Thank you for tuning in. I bet there'll be a lot of people that will want to be here, that aren't here now, that probably never thought about it. And like most of us would, I mean, if I had a business, I'd be too big of a wimp. I wouldn't move in during the construction. I'd wait till it's over. So, I'm sure this is good for the people that own these properties, and for other people that may be considering to either build here or do something along this stretch. I think we're going to see a lot of exciting things, and maybe some of the landscape change over the years here as this becomes some of the most valuable business real estate in all of Metro Detroit.
Yes, and I think people sometimes forget that we do have a mall, a really great Orchard Mall.
Absolutely.
And there's some really wonderful businesses in there. So if they don't want to be out in the cold, they can go and visit them and shop and, support our local community, because these businesses support our schools and our tax base, and they give back as much as we give in to them.
It's interesting you mention that, because I didn't really think about Orchard Mall, and it's an unbelievable property and venue, and the people that operate it are so kind. And,
Wonderful.
they accommodated us for our big Michigan Week celebration that we did there last May, and just bent over backwards for us. I'm so appreciative of Kelly and everybody at the mall. They're amazing. They have a great property. But, I didn't think about the impact that this project and the Maple Road construction, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I'm sure it had an impact on that mall as well. And I suspect that this project will have a positive impact not only on people between 14 and 15 Mile Road, but a lot of people that are north and south of that.
Yes, because I think people were avoiding going north on Orchard Lake. They were trying to find, maybe they went Middle Belt to Walnut. They were trying to kind of skip through here. And Kelly is awesome. She supports our chamber. They really do bend over backwards to help the community. And all of the nonprofits, they are really a fabulous community partner.
And part of what makes a sense of downtown, which, as we talk to Steve Kaplan and Debbie Binder and Terry Weingarten, I think we'll probably talk to them about that a little bit more when they come here in the next hour. But, part of what makes a downtown happen and a buzz are things and activities that go on that bring people to the area and allow us to focus on the area. That's one of the reasons I thought it was really important as the local media outlet here in West Bloomfield to be here today. And I wanted to experiment a little bit, but I just think it's important. I think we should be doing, this is just me speaking out loud without talking to anybody, and I'm sure there's a million details in politics and rules and other stuff. But, I think it'd be cool to do a parade here. You got the boulevard. Couldn't you close off half of it, let the traffic run on the other half, and route the traffic over there and do a parade on one half of the boulevard? Couldn't we do some other events? Couldn't we do like downtown West Bloomfield days and come out and get all the businesses together? We don't, you do that in Birmingham, you do that in Plymouth, you do that in Rochester, you do that in Northville. Now, we don't have what they have yet. And it'll always be a little different. But I bet we can embrace some of that, right?
I think
so. This
so.
roadway here now, do you think?
I really think so. I know that when I joined the chamber, one of my pet projects, but I couldn't get enough of momentum and people to help, was maybe one Sunday a month, even experimenting with either an artist market or some kind of, doing something like that to bring people not just from our community but outside the community to come and see what we're all about. So all of these things are very, viable options. We just have to, get all the partners together and see who would be willing to actually do some of the heavy lifting with us.
All right. Well, I got some strong arms, and I got all these guys here. They have all pretty strong arms, and I think we should sit down, have a cup of coffee, and you and myself and some of the other people in the community, and figure out how we can do some of these things. What do you think?
That sounds like a great deal.
Now that we said it on the radio and on TV, we kind of have to do it. But and you see that? We couldn't in the past. Really. We closed down Orchard Lake Road for the United We Walk. Between the high school and Walnut Lake Road. But you can't do that every day, and got to be careful when you do those kinds of things. And really down here, on this stretch of Orchard Lake Road, it's been really virtually impossible to try to bring all these things together to do something that was pedestrian focused. The infrastructure wasn't here. We got it now. I think so, don't you?
Well, if Plymouth can do it, they shut down most of downtown Plymouth for their art fair.
Right.
So there certainly should be a way for us to do something.
Well, and we were going to, and from what I understand, the Orchard Lake Fine Arts Festival, which was always here on Powers Road, right next to where we're broadcasting live at Crispelli's today, is going to be back where it was. It was at the high school last year. It's going to be back here, right?
Yes.
This summer. And so that's one example. I'm sure it takes a lot of cooperation from these property owners and mall owners here. And to get them to cooperate, and they've been wonderful from what I understand. But, I bet we can do more things like that.
That would be great. And to get the community really involved in these projects would be so meaningful. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank you, Dave, and thank your fabulous team at Civic Center TV. You're always there. When anyone asks if you can cover something, and it's a lot of work, people don't understand that haven't been in television, the amount of work it takes to do something, and especially do it with the quality and the care and the 110% that all of you do. So I want to just, publicly say thank you so much for all that you do to help make our community a really great place to live.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's really hard because my staff isn't very enthusiastic. I've got to, just beat on them and pound them. No. Last night, Larry Nyland, who's right there, and Tyler Keefe, who's right there, and John Atwater, who is way over there, it was snowing like crazy. It was snowing so bad when we set all this up. We set this up last night. It was snowing so bad that we had to, it took like 20 minutes to load our equipment in here. And it was snowing so bad that we had to shovel the walkway twice during that 20-minute interval. I went back and checked with the National Weather Service. There was one point yesterday where we were getting 3 inches of snow an hour. And in the middle of that, the guys came out. And I appreciate you saying that. I got a great team. They work hard. We love doing what we're doing, and we want to do more. We feel we have, and I don't want to make this day about us, but I feel we have a really unique resource here in West Bloomfield that works really well with this very unique roadway. We're unique, and we have our own radio station. It's something that has been here for a while, but people didn't know about it. So that's part of the reason we're here today. We can do events. Bring the radio, bring TV, broadcast live, get the community involved, build some excitement, and that's our part of making these things happen. We want to do more of it, and that's why we're really excited to be here. And it's nice of you to mention that.
Well, and I'm very appreciative because you've covered so many of our chamber events, and it really does add a lot to enhance an event and make it seem like it's even bigger than it may be. So
well, truth be told, Suzanne is now on our board, so I can't say no to her when she asks me to cover something. No, I'm just kidding. No, and I appreciate your contribution to the Cable Commission and taking time as the chamber director. You have a lot of different things. I wish you would have been here. I don't know if you were listening when Marshall Labadie was here talking about the work that the township put into making all this happen. This is definitely leadership from the township side. I know that we'll talk to the road commission folks, and they did a great job. We'll talk to them as well. But, we got a great team at the township. Marshall, a fine example of smart people that know how to get the best from these other organizations for our community, and as a bonus can communicate all that pretty well too. So.
No, it's a huge collaboration. People don't understand. It's not like you just snap your fingers and it's done. And trying to get all these divergent parties that have their own agendas to actually work for the greater good of the community is really, it's fabulous.
So let's talk a little bit about what we got, and then we'll take a break here in a minute.
Sure.
But so this new boulevard, for people that haven't driven it, we're standing here right in the middle of it. It really started with the roundabout. Like roundabout, don't like roundabout, You kind of got it either way. You got a roundabout on one end and no roundabout on the other end. Pretty good compromise,
Yes.
right? So we got the roundabout at 14 Mile. That whole roundabout and renovation to the intersection of Northwestern Highway and Orchard Lake Road, which really started before this boulevard project. I drive that every day, 2 or 3 times a day. And I know some people don't like roundabouts, and I respect that. But that thing is so much better to get through now than it used to be. With widening it up to all those lanes and the turn onto Northwestern in the morning. I don't know about at the end of the day how it's working, but man, it sure works great in the morning getting through there.
No, it does. And it's interesting. Last night, I actually went to Orchard Fitness.
Okay.
And it was snowing pretty heavily. And I thought, am I going to be able to even, see the lane to make the the left turn, the Michigan left to go northbound, and it was so easy. I was really impressed. I mean, there's a light there, and it was great.
It really works well. And let's not forget, I know you as the West Bloomfield Chamber Director think about this every day, but West Bloomfield doesn't end at Northwestern Highway. It ends at 14 Mile Road. And that whole mall and development that is on the northwest corner of that intersection is huge. There's a lot of businesses, the grocery store and the Dunhams and all the other businesses in there. I'm in there almost every day. Getting in and out of there used to be really hard, and it's so much better now. And that's a lot of commerce and a big part of what they had to do to make this whole thing work. And then on the other side of the road, I don't even recognize that anymore. That's been all redone with the Pizzology and what used to be there with that
Mr. Allen Shoes.
Right, Mr. Allen Shoes. That whole development, to me, the hotel there is like brand new. The Hampton Inn. I feel like that was just like open yesterday, and I was in there for a while.
He's actually opening a second part to it.
Really?
Yeah. So it's great because I know that I've had family events, and there was no place to send them except, all the way to 12 Mile if I wanted someplace close. Now this is so awesome. We have the Hampton Inn, and it's beautiful. And I can send my relatives.
And they've opened up that whole retail development and redesigned that just north of the Hampton Inn, and you can get in and out of there a lot better.
You can.
And I'm sure we'll see some additional exciting new businesses developing in there too, along with the ones that have been there for a long time.
No, it's great. It's always great when the township can do things to help our community thrive and grow.
Do you think this is you talked about, I think it was you, there's been so much happening today, talked about some of the real unique specialty shops that we have here on the Orchard Lake Boulevard that really don't exist anywhere else. Do you think this continues to be a good spot for unique, probably high-end retail, specialty retail along this corridor?
Yes, I really do think so, because I think if someone wants to go to a Nordstrom, they're going to go to the mall. But I think if they want a unique piece like a Closet Envy or a Sundance Shoes or any of the other great retail stores that we have, or if they want like a great corned beef sandwich, go to Stage.
Right,
if they want a great burger, go to Redcoat. So we have a lot of really unique places here.
There is a lot of really great dining right along this stretch here, and I've tried to hit, because Lord knows I love to eat. I tried to hit most of them, but I've been in Redcoat for a while. I've been in most of the other
Crispelli's is great.
Here
we just did a
right
family. It's one of the few places that can accommodate my husband's family on a Sunday night. 21 of us.
See, and I don't mind sitting here plugging all the businesses because that's what we do here. And I went to the restroom a minute ago and I walked through Crispelli's, and I know they don't open till 11 for general business, although we got coffee and sweets if you want to come by this morning and just, enjoy with us. But I couldn't believe the huge amount of catering business that they are shipping out the door right now. They are really busy here. And you think of them as pizza, but some of their sweets here, they gave us some. I took some home last night.
Their cannolis?
Oh, yeah. I busted my diet pretty good last night. So, and continuing our discussion of the road, as you move north, this whole thing at Powers is good. What's happened with the malls, like where Stage is and Detroit Bagel and the Dairy Queen and that whole mall there.
The boardwalk, right.
That whole boardwalk. Getting in and out of there
is so much
better. So much better.
Before you had to worry about traffic coming from all directions from that little easement that people would just cut through and fly through.
Absolutely. No, it's just a so much better situation all the way around. And talk to me a little bit about what you think about what's going on up here as you get to Orchard and Maple now, where this whole thing wraps up.
It's really great. I mean, as much as it can be challenging, the two lanes to make, to go northbound or to go westbound, I think for me, it's made my life a lot easier.
All right. Well, I'm really geeked about this. I think it's really cool. I think the traffic flow is really cool. I think it's going to work out well. I
Yes.
think the road commission did a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be great for you and the businesses
Absolutely.
here in West Bloomfield. I love driving through it already. It's going to be nice with all the lighting and the aesthetics, and we see everything pretty in the springtime. And Suzanne, I just want you to know that I'm really committed. I want to do some events here. I want to help out where we can. And I think as we take what the road commission and our community and all the other people that put this thing together have built for us, and now the jobs start to come back on our shoulders to do everything we can to use it and have a new tool to promote our community.
Sure. And I invite the community, to email me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com if they have any ideas, or if they want to be part of a committee to see what we can do to enhance our community involvement. And if I can just do one plug,
Please.
I just sent out, and you can go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com. We have our annual awards nomination for 2018. There are 5 different categories: Business Person of the Year, Leadership, Spirit of the Community, Health and Wellness, and Entrepreneur of the Year. If you know of someone, you don't have to be a chamber member to nominate anyone. You can nominate in all the categories. You can nominate the same person in several categories. But this is really important, because this is the only way that we get to honor those people that are doing all this work for our community that I may not be aware of, or our board may not be aware of. So please, the deadline is February 1st, and I know people are going to wait till the last minute, but the sooner you get these in, the better. And the more choices that we have, the better it is for our community. And we honor them on May 15th at Shenandoah Country Club. And Civic Center TV always does such a great job of covering this event for us. And we'll have Charlie Langton there, and it's a really great event. So I please urge everyone, go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, and look at the nomination form and fill it out.
All right, Suzanne, thank you very much. West Bloomfield, really, I think to most people, is known as a bedroom community, but it is also a community with thriving business, and with the new Orchard Lake Boulevard, even more opportunity, a new sense of a central business community. Call it a downtown, call it whatever. It's going to be great. I'm glad that you're all fired up, and thank you for being here today, and thank you for taking some extra time in this snowy morning to chat with us a little bit about it, and let's keep in touch.